Lanka. Those hilltops, lovely sceneries. This is right behind the grandstand.
Yeah.
Lanka Islam will continue with his left. 15 in 3 overs. Salman is on strike. Nicely bowled. And the Sri Lankan batters have been very sensible with their options. And we spoke a lot about the top order of the Sri Lankan side. Predominantly, Mendes batted at number 4 since he the side was batting late order against the Indian series. He was batting at number 7. They got some numbers about him as well. 20 innings, average of 25, batting at number 4. You expect much more from a number 4. Striker just under 73 with only 2 half centuries. I think this is where Sri Lanka Sri have kept a lot of faith on Nishan Madhuskar, come to Mendes, and it's their duty to bring the confidence back to this interest. A lot of talent, no argument about it. A lot of talent. He's a freak on his day, can bowl, can field, can bat really well, can use a long handle. But when it comes to international cricket, you've got to be consistent because most of the time you're playing in good circles. At the moment, it's down to singles. And singles only. We'll hope you in places. You know that the Mahamani River flows from Kandy. It's beautiful. Flows to Kandy. And the other unique thing about Kandy, I believe, is that Mahamani surrounds Kandy and the kingdom. They could never enter Kandy without crossing the river. And it used to serve as a kind of a protective horn during the days where colonial powers would look to attack and take over the Canadian. Slightly shorter. First boundary after 22 deliveries behind square brings up the 50 partnership between Sanka and Mendes. Yeah, waiting for it and playing it late. Down behind point. Beautifully done. Use the pace of the ball as well. That is the main more the width. Welcome boundary for Sri Lanka. The rate of scoring now about 5 again.
Tak, saya nak selai lagi.
That it was hovering.
One more.
Dua komputer.
65 for 1.
One more.
Partnership of 52 or 59. Kusal Mendes is a player.
Tambah lagi.
He gets into form, he picks up blends, scores runs easily, especially in the power play. When it comes to Kusal Mendes in this series and since 2023, against pace, when he's slightly short or back on the length, he picks it up early. Kusal Mendes, back of the left, in that middle arc, in that walk. You bowl at him, the second ODI, you go for runs. This is since 2023. 136, 146 is the average. That's because of the short nature of his height. Picks up length early and can play the horizontal shots through the offside and the leg side. But back of the length slightly fuller. That's where one area Kusal Mendes is not so fluent unless it's really full of it. Hallmark of a player who picks up length early and very comfortable playing those horizontal shots and for a subcontinent player, he's pretty hard to play with. The bounce is not consistent, but he loves batting. The bouncing is much more consistent in England, in Australia, scoreboards. The opposition, you've got to get it spot on a good length. You've got against players like Kusal, who's in super form, asking for trouble. Mustafa is just continuing. This is a very, very economical and the renewable energy is part of Sri Lanka's policy to try and generate electricity, and that's on the roof. And I can tell you, it's good to see. And well, talking about roofs, we got a roof who's on fire. The roofs here, we have solar power, but this roof is on fire. I was on fire in Colombo. It was too hot. That's for sure. And good to see the renewable energy being used. That's something that over the years Kalaya has developed. I'm sure Kabul is too as well. So we know that your home has renewable energy. We know that. So what about that new machine that you acquired that also has renewable energy, or it runs on some other energy? First of all, I paid for the renewable energy. I wasn't given. Happy wife, happy life. She's happy. So everything goes smoothly. Okay, that's good. That's a good policy. Happy life, happy wife. Is that policy?
Tak pernah putus fit macam
She's
tu tak boleh?
as smooth as possible. There's one reason or one thing that I got to do as soon as I go back to Colombo is to take our director on a ride. After my life, we got about another couple of games. Not everybody who could have a that. So our director can consider himself to be very privileged, not just to have a ride, but also to be driven. My stationer's wife with a laptop. Newly married. An iPad in the bar. I thought she's here to watch the cricket. He seemed to be working. Probably the numbers about my station. Maybe she's just going through the Sri Lanka cricket app. Checking out my station as average and strike rates and everything. Why not? Yeah, of course. Again, another very effective over for Mustafa, 66 for 1. Sri Lanka quite comfortable after 14 overs, 6-6, losing an early wicket, making a good partnership between these two, Nissanka and Mendes. Bangladesh have a struggle in the hand in the sense that the wicket has not really offered too much for either the pacers or the spinners. It's been tidy from Tanvir so far, I mean. It's been a good start made by the Sri Lankans, but some will question. The run rate achieved is 4.73. That's quite good. As long as these two players are up there in the middle, there's every possibility that it will get better. They're content to just play the right ball. I think it's a question of not taking any risks. But that has been very evident from the approach of the two Sri Lankan batters. Yeah, when a bowler picks up 5 wickets in the previous outing there, in the team meeting you discussed, we're not going to give him wickets. We're going to show him some respect. If he offers us something, then we are going to cash in. Otherwise, just try and milk the bowler. That's what these two Sri Lankan batsmen are looking to do. Not to lose wicket against the left-arm spinner. Have a look at the manner in which he just opens the face at the last moment, very late into the shot. Chase on, good recovery. That's what they need. Bangladesh feel decently enough today. Now, up in the air. Fielder coming and getting it. That's landed right. Top part of the man and the second wicket down. You know, whenever a batsman has looked to take a chance against the left-arm spinner, somehow he sends them back. That way has been very effective in this series so far. Once again, he's amongst wickets. And he has removed Nisanka, the set batsman, for 35. Sri Lanka, 69 for 2. Coming to Mendes. Bangladesh striking at the right time. 35.73 is average. Of the 50s. Bangladesh needed to break that partnership was looking quite threatening. Yeah, it was not a case of bowling bouncing extra on that occasion for the bowler, but since the batter was looking at the ball all along the ground, the hands went low, hence resulting in that top edge. He's amongst wickets. He's a dangerous customer. Asking question. Did he get outside the off stump? That was a question the umpire asked himself. And I think they're saying that maybe got an inside edge onto the man also. So the question of taking the review, not on impacting outside. Let's have a look at this. Maybe no bat, but definitely outside the uniform. Immediate shake of the head. But good bowling here by Tanvir Islam. Amindu. Going forward now, off stop there. Bit of a yes and no. Could have been trouble, sent back eventually. Ends the over, 69 for 2. This series, Sri Lanka winning the toss, batting first, have lost the second wicket in the last over. Yeah, he has to prove himself coming to Mendes. He's been prolific in test matches, but fine himself out of place in shorter format. Maybe he has to change his mindset. He has to become more positive. In the previous over, there was good news for Bangladesh. Indeed. And this was it. Try to sweep the maybe just a little bit of extra bounce. The process, he got it on the upper part of the bat, and Perez anyone was not going to miss out on those simple takes. Massive wicket. Because it's hard work for the bowlers. Muskin Ahmed now does manage to beat the bat, coming from the other end for his second spell. This is good captaincy. From Mandias and Mirage. Bringing his premier bowler back into the attack. Looking for another wicket. Amplify the pressure on Sri Lankan batters. This important time. Series decider. It's so nice to see the crowds filling up the grassy banks. Yet Pallakalle, either side of the square, we've got the grassy banks. Noise the ball straight away, and that is the pressure building again. 3 dot balls. In ODI cricket is all about.
Kau tahu kenapa kau kat sini?
Tidak lagi tu.
Saya tak tahu. Saya tahu apa-apa. Tu apa? Kau jujur je dengan aku, kau mandi pakai shampoo ke tak? Mestilah. Saya pakai shampoo. Keberadaan gereja di sampingmu itu bukan ancaman.
Itu yang
Orang
lagi.
banyak menganggap kalau ada gereja di
Itu.
kampungku ancaman. Nanti terjadi kristenisasi.
Point 4, 3, 2, 1. And close the door.
Ada lagi apa ya? Mau lagi?
Itu kan
Oh.
দুটো বেশি হয়েছে এখন একটু যে দিছে প্রথম এটাই বন্ধ হয়েছে
Anti শেষে এসে কত থাকছে? এগুলো দেখেন।
Started off with the bat now, it's flipped that way, but it's going to find the fielder. Just the single. Runs being cried out here by some accurate bowling by Muskin Ahmed. He's feeling the heat. Manage his physical abilities. Are you referring to weather or some tight bowling? Just tight bowling? Okay. Just because of the weather, I suspect after this over, there'll be time for players to hydrate themselves. There has to be a break. It's the 16th over. Didn't know very much about that inside edge. Trickles away. They get fortunate single to finish an excellent over by Muskin Ahmed. 71 for 2. And also it's going to be time for that principle you're talking about. Anderson Tendulkar Trophy का ये दूसरा मुकाबला और अर्शदक यहाँ ये शख्सी जायसवाल के नाम ये पहले भारतीय कप्तान जिन्होंने इंग्लैंड में छड़ दिया है पूरा शतक बर्मिंघम के सिंघम और इसी के साथ मोहम्मद सिराज के 1650 ऋषभ पंत के बदले से बेखौफ ऋषभ पंत तलवार निकली रविंद्र जाडेजा की एक टेस्ट मैच में 2 शतक और शतक लगाने वाले आकाशदीप 10 विकेट
ব্যাটিং দিয়েছে, তারা চেষ্টা করবে একটা বড় স্কোর দাঁড় করাতে। তো দেখা যাক আমরা সে বোলাররা সেটা কতটা আটকে দিতে পারে। আগে
Ceramic, gentle but strong. Developed with dermatologists.
That's more like that. Basam Saka wicket, an important one. Score 35 was looking threatening, but good work from Tanvir Islam. Made him play across the line. A little bit of extra bounce, got the tough part. No problem, Simon. Well, if you don't want to know all about the Sri Lankan cricket, we'll talk about that in a moment. The bowling has been pretty good. Tanvir has been a tad expensive, but he's got a wicket. Tanvir has once again been exemplary. Right, if you want to know all about Sri Lankan cricket, download the SLC mobile app. That brings you team news, match schedules, live sport, players' actions, information on both international and domestic cricket, ticket purchasing for games. All information can be obtained via this app. So get on it and get all the news on Sri Lankan cricket. Yeah, Sri Lankan cricket board keeping abreast of contemporary demands. Smartphones era, and you have to bring something smart and smarter. He needs to be smarter to survive in this format. He really needs to establish himself. Yeah, he needs to establish himself, but what he also needs to do first is ensure that he doesn't give any opportunities. And by that, I mean to get his concentration back. After any kind of break, we've noticed that there is some kind of lapse in the momentum built up by the batters. Prasad Mendes will have to be careful about that to get his focus back. Well, it happens. As far as Prasad Mendes is batting, yes, it started off boundaries, but after that, he's been shackled. Normally, I've seen some good bowling from Bangladeshis, but how about fielding? I'm afraid that through their bodies line and save many a runs. And that's the support you need to give your bowlers. Just so uplifting. The spirit of a bowler when he sees a good piece of fielding and the effort given in the deep, that just works wonders. Now, step forward, initial thrust forward, then has to come back when the bowlers just drops it a tad short. That's how you deal with quality spinners. Great skills. And now look front and maneuver the length. And he gives the ball some air, enticing the batter. Nicely easing into that shot, into the deep, just for the single. I'm just wondering, Amir, when Media Samiraj, the skipper, might consider giving Tanvir Islam a bit of a rest into his sixth over. He's bowling exceedingly well, so the temptation will be there to keep him on maybe for another one or two. Yeah, there are plenty of options for the captain. Shamim really bowled well, not you. Jameen Patwari. Good usage of the feet. Made the batsman gain on that occasion. That was an elegant stroke from Kamindo Mendes.
It was indeed, and breaking the shackles. Haven't had a marker for a while. And look at this lovely shimmy down the wicket. Gets to the pitch, nicely behind it. Didn't hit too hard. That's the placement. Perfectly done. No pleasing to the eye. That will lift Sri Lanka's spirit. It's need to build up a solid partnership. Bangladesh, on the other hand, look to get another one quick. Just pulling it back ever so slightly in terms.
Dennis. Kau buta ke kau buta? Ni tangga. Itu dah.
Oh my god.
Tumbuk kepala kau kan. Longkang.
Just put the backup going and dry out the runs.
Dua kan dua.
And another single to finish off that over. 79 for 2.
Oh.
Yang tulis.
Oh, welcome करता हूँ.
Hadir babu. Betul ya.
It's been that
Enam ringgit
blue dot which has not really allowed Sri Lanka to
travel
smoothly.
Sebelas.
The wickets down, 4.65. The bowling has been
Bukus kah?
accurate.
Ya, betul kira.
Short. That look at that fielding. We're talking about the support given. That was a hit me ball. The fielder did very well.
And that can be confidence booster for the bowlers. If they know they'll be supported by the fielders. When the ball an ordinary delivery, they can get their focus back and they can start bowling with a big heart.
Well, that kind of feeling helps Ruskin to maintain that best economy rate I was mentioning a short while earlier. How good he has been. But he doesn't take the wickets, he dries out the runs. Look at it. Since 1st January 2023, minimum of 150 over, Ruskin Ahmed leads the pack with 4.87, 46 wickets to boot. Got big names there, Matt Henry, Kagisa Rabara, Josh Hazelwood, Mohammad Siraj. But he is enjoying that economy spell.
That is a luxury to have in your lineup. Not only economical but threatening too. Have that ability, especially in short format. Keep the batsman quieter and then send them back.
And he's bowling within himself. You can see 134, 131. Those are the speeds. He can generate pace, but he assists the requirement of the wicket. The heat here, it's really muggy.
He got the smarts now.
Sure has. Got to be smart. Once again, back of a leg does not really allow the batter to either go forward or go deep into his crease. And with this kind of pace, it's not going to be easy to try and take him on. Containment here. Done
Please
brilliantly
subscribe.
by Taskin Ahmed.
No subscribe.
You know, in yesteryears, if you compare the
Please
speed
subscribe
of now
my channel.
and of yesteryears, he was not committed to every delivery. At times he used to go through the motions, but now he commits himself. Fuller. Now where he is going to land the ball? Which batsman? He wasn't in control, looked like big inside edge.
Good enough to take the ball over the boundary line. Well, some relief for the Sri Lankan supporters, but as you said, not the most convincing. Was just inside part of the bat, but he put it away in an area where it was difficult for the fielders to get to it, and thus the boundary. Was intending to hit the ball there? No, not at all. Intending to hit it much more forward of square. Inside runs, and they'll take it Sri Lanka.
Oh, bayar sana. Problem. Satu orang. Ya. Sana sini. Sini.
Good comeback delivery to finish the over. 84 for 2. Bangladeshi bowlers have done well in the heat, restraining the Sri Lankan batters, and as anticipated, the change in the bowling. The skipper comes on.
সবাই একটু সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দেন চ্যানেল আমাদের লাইভ বেশিক্ষণ করছে না সাবস্ক্রাইব যত সাবস্ক্রাইব দেবো ততক্ষণ লাইভ করে সাবস্ক্রাইব না থাকলে বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে
25. Yeah, he picked up a wicket in the last game after 5 matches. But his bowling very well consistent.
and I'm blessing this
First delivery went into the gap once again. Good fielding at the boundary line. It was Shameen, but wide.
and I'm blessing it Similan Flusi
Was 1 for 37 in the previous game, and that was loose bat to start off with. Short.
Plastic
Bit of a cloud off second run. Eventually the ball arrives.
plastic
Take once again the fielding.
how is plastic
Commitment shown by Bangladesh is
no full size make it cheap
high quality. That's the way to come back. After you lose first ball. That was clever bowling. Tempo was the same, trajectory was the same, but line slightly towards off stump and also angling the ball away from the right hander. That's true. Yes, too straight. It's a line he wants to avoid. Basically, you need to bowl it outside the line of the off stump. Get it to turn in. Not that we've seen too much evidence of purchase of the wicket. Essentially, got to make sure the batter is not given the freedom to either come inside out or go on to the off stump and sweep the ball. And with the left-right combination, you have to just come around, change of angles. Yeah, no turn, and it's an arm ball heading straight in. That might be a dilemma for the batters. Wondering when is it going to start dripping? Into the 19th over? Ball hasn't really done anything off track in terms of turn. Keeps on boarding them straight. Keeps on allowing the singles to be taken. Now, if you don't allow batters to score more than 5 runs, temporary ODI cricket, as a bowler, you're doing a fine job. All wide, all by the umpire. Kusal, about the players drawing out the runs, bowlers. Last 25 balls, 26 now. Just the 14 runs. He started off with a bang. He's hitting the balls in all parts of the ground. Pressure must be building.
green color one
Just to
nice
see how he rides that pressure out and absorbs that pressure. 90 for 2.
Jadi 321 now running di 380.
Bangladeshi bowlers have not really allowed the Sri Lankan batters to take advantage. No big tall buildings so far.
Sri Lankan have
They've been pretty content because it is a pitch which is a little bit tilted towards the batters. Eases into that one, but just quickly enough, that extra cover stops that ball from going through. Hasn't hit a boundary for quite a while now. Must be. Just inside, he must be brewing. I've got to go big. One of these deliveries.
Yeah, the bowler has to sense that. The frustration is creeping in. Mind of the batter. Do not try and overdo things. Keep it simple. Keep on landing the ball in the right areas. That was a gift. That was a gift. He was looking for that length. I got that and was ready for it.
And the smile breaks out. The smile of relief of Salman is boundary after 57 balls that is faced, but it was there to be. It was simple. It's pitched up, right through the line, easy as the cup.
There was a aforementioned have to over try as a bowler. Just keep on landing the ball at the right areas, back of the length. That's very important. Increase the length. And for Salman is too good a batsman to miss out on those ones.
Nice. Just that little bit, just 6 inches shorter than the previous one, does the job.
ni 4 piece semua piece.
There you see.
Sorry, 4 piece.
That shorter, gets him on the front foot, tries his best. Umpire takes defensive action, but there is still a sensible cricket.
সবাই একটু সাবস্ক্রাইব করেন, বেশি বেশি সাবস্ক্রাইব করেন। চ্যানেল রিচ হইতেছে না, একটু সাবস্ক্রাইব করেন।
Lead the group so you guys can manage your resources, expand your shelter, and protect everybody.
That was shorter. That was there for the taking once again. Not quite timing that
ringgit or not
nicely, but it was there to be hit. So a little target and this over from Dustinam.
And the idea was good from Panta's king. He's been pitching the ball back of the length. Batsmen were anticipating the ball there. Trying to surprise the batter with a bouncer.
ringgit
Did
to
not
the
rear up. Undecided ball, but
Ice cream. Keeps it quiet. With this coming to on strike. See, it's soaking wet. It's a quiet, slow walk back to the top of the bowling ground, conserving energy.
drenched in sweat. Ski. Dirty shirt.
The grunt for a good delivery. 95 for 2. Is into his swings and rhythms. Such a lovely ground, the Pallekele International Stadium. In the distance, the hills, mountains around.
tulis satu lah.
PA system blaring out the music. It is just a number. Having on hard. Enjoy life. Absolutely. You like to team up in life, Shamim? Short. Now, this is going to go along the ground to deep back to square, just for the single. Opportunity, I think, for the batter. Maybe played a little squarer into the gap to take more runs.
It's surprising for me, batsman brought up on such surfaces doesn't play that conventional swing. As if he does employ that slot swing to some mechanism, but not the conventional one. That's a good one from Domingo Mendes. 100 on the ball with that boundary.
Yeah, that was always going to be punished. Just short enough from Miraj, giving him ample opportunity to drop back. He's happy with that boundary. There you see just the shortness of the leg, drop back.
সবাই একটু সাবস্ক্রাইব করেন ডিওয়াল লিমিট রিচ 50 সাবস্ক্রাইবের জন্য সাবস্ক্রাইব করেন সবাই
Using his feet, he has created that fear in the minds of the bowler hands. They are looking to dart the ball in. The pace was up on that occasion. Slightly slower.
But Sri Lanka, that's what they've done very well. They have been periods of play when they've been dot balls piling up. Once in a while, they've just released the pressure with boundaries. Not similar to the last one day when they got completely bogged down.
Don't be a bunch of me. They're a hard task.
I'm just giving them credit, my friend. You, once again. But the boundary has been there in the over, so they can.
1000 সাবস্ক্রাইব হয়ে গেলেই অরিজিনাল ভিডিও লাইভ করে যাইব সবাই একটু সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দেন 1000 সাবস্ক্রাইব হয়ে গেলেই অরিজিনাল
He is so for now, Shamim.
খেলাটা আমি লাইভ করতে পারবো সবাই একটু সাবস্ক্রাইব করেন
Well directed delivery, kept low, did get up to the batsman's liking, and he perishes.
Wow, that was a quick delivery. I don't think he's going to bother to take the review. The big strike. Bangladesh really doing well. He's not too happy, but exactly at 100, this is what happened. Kept on, kept the tap low, played over, and it was pretty much in front. No problem for the umpire. Up went the dreaded finger, and Miraj gets that wicket. It's coming to Mendes, who has to take the long walk back. 16 he's got, and Sri Lanka 100 for 3.